Good evening, welcome to East St. Paul Planning Meeting. I'll call the meeting to order, the time being 5:35. Item number 2 on the agenda is adoption of the agenda resolution.
It resolved that the agenda be adopted as presented.
I have a mover, please, Councillor Imhoff, second by Councillor Duval. All those in favor? It's carried. Item number 4, confirmation of minutes.
Be it resolved that the council meeting minutes of the October 10th, 2023 regular council meeting be approved.
Mover, please, Councillor Postuma, second by Councillor Horechko. All those in favor? That's carried. We don't have any delegations this evening. We'll move on to our public hearings. 6.1 for resolution to open the public hearing.
Be resolved that council open the public hearing of council for variation order 110/2023 for 2071 Roseneath Avenue.
For resolution to open the public hearing.
Be resolved that council open the public hearing of council for variation order 110/2023 for 2071 Roseneath Avenue.
I have a mover, please. Councillor Imhoff, second by Councillor Duval. All those in favor? Public hearing is now open and I will pass the floor off to Mr. Planner.
Thank you, Madam. Good evening, Council. Will you just allow me to share my screen and start the presentation? Okay, this is variance application VO 110/2023. This is property is located at 2071 Roseneath Avenue. The applicant wishes to allow a driveway access off of Henderson Avenue, which is the longer property line, in accordance with section 56.3 of the zoning law. This is the zoning request table. As I said before, the access is restricted to a shorter sightline as per section 56.3, but the applicant wishes to vary that. This is the location map. As you can see, the property is at the intersection of Roseneath and Henderson. This is the site plan provided by the applicant. The driveway is marked off of Henderson picture. To council's consideration, this application was brought forward in VO 46/2023 back in April, and the site plan provided at the time did not reflect any driveway off of Henderson. As I said before, the owner is in the process of constructing a single family dwelling with an attached garage and proposes access off of Henderson Street. They successfully obtained a variance in April for a reduced site and front yard, but the site plan at the time did not reflect any driveway off of Henderson. If the council wishes to approve this application, our office recommends 2 standard conditions. Number 1, this variance is limited to what is presented in the application. Any changes would require any approval. Number 2, the applicant owner obtains all the required permits from regular planning and the RMP St. Paul. Thank you. If the council has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Council, do you have any questions for Mr. Planner? I have a question. Was there a driveway there before?
From the aerial photos, I don't think there was a driveway off of Henderson.
So is that a back lane right there?
The back lane is here, but the access is proposed from this side.
Correct, but is that an access point back there? What is that back there behind?
On the left up.
Must be a back lane access.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my question. Councillor Duval?
Yes, Mayor Devlin. I believe there used to be, well, there was a house there for sure. I believe there was a driveway for Allison. Obviously, the other house was dismantled. And then the lots vacant for several years. I'm quite certain there was a driveway off Allison before.
I thought so too, because I used to walk there when I lived on that side of East St. Paul, and I do recall there being a driveway back there. But we will have to ask the applicant. Okay, so where's the?
There it is there. The old front.
Could have grown in though, because.
Yeah, it looks like on the left side, there was an existing one off the back lane.
I can answer that.
Oh, we'll get to you.
Okay.
Okay, any further questions? No, okay, so we have a couple people signed in support. Trevor Markovich was the applicant. If you would like to come forward. Just give me your name and your address for the
My
record.
name is Trevor Markovich and my name is Trevor Markovich and I live at 2908.
Thank you.
I'm the builder.
Builder, okay.
So we designed the house, like he said, and applied for all variances back in April. But for some reason, this one got missed. I guess it's a zoning bylaw that they were unaware of. I didn't think there would be any particular problem because there was an access off there. And if you look across the street, the neighbor across the street has an access in the front of his yard, the side of his yard, and the back lane. So he has 3 accesses. This is a very old neighborhood. I don't understand the zoning bylaw for this. I don't even know why I'm here. It seems like it's not applicable to this specific area. When you have a back lane, there's many driveways that are not even in the front yard. They're either in the back or the front. The properties all vary in size. There are some properties that are actually wider in the front than the back. So this variance wouldn't work for those properties. So yeah, and we're already constructing the house because with Red River Planning missing this variance, if I wouldn't have started the house and with the weather coming, there would have been an additional cost of probably $15,000 to build this house, which I don't think is reasonable for us to take on for a missed application that we were due diligent in March. So.
Thank you. Council, do you have questions for Mr. Markovich?
So this variance is costing you extra money.
No, not at this point. No, I already started the house and got the house started. But that was my due diligence. That wasn't Jennifer Ferguson's due diligence at Red River Planning. And I don't want to sound unreasonable here, but I know this municipality in the 90s when I built here was the wealthiest municipality per capita in Manitoba. And it was an easy place to build homes and reasonable to work with when you guys had a planning department here and you had Ray Parsons, who was a certified building inspector here. They have not one single certified building inspector there. They have a bunch of people that don't have any certification. And then you have a super or manager, 2 managers, and a couple other people that if every time I phone them, they're not in the office, they're working from home, and they don't return calls. And I know my tax dollars, which I pay just around $15,000 a year, helps you guys run this program. And I know you guys are the ones that have to be answered to that accountability. So I just want to make you aware that that's how things operate. And if you ask any builder in the city, they hate working in East St. Paul, hate it. And my designer now is at the point where they're charging me 20% more. If you come to me to build a house for you in East St. Paul, you're paying 20% more for your drawings just because of the grief and aggravation dealing with that office. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's reasonable. And I don't think that reflects good on our municipality. And I lived in this municipality for 40 years already. And I take pride in it. So anyways, I said my piece just while you guys are all here. I just want to thank you.
Might reach out to you because I sit on the board.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it because I can go on for a half an hour here. I won't, but I could on a bunch of things. Yes.
I just had one. So originally in your variance and your site drawings,
Yes.
did it not show a driveway at all?
Yeah, it did show a driveway and I had the plans and the house drawing and plans, so it was plain as day that there was 3 garage doors there. So even if I didn't have driveway written in there, common sense would, and I sat down with, sorry, I forget his name here, and another fellow, and we went through all the variances and looked through everything. They missed the one variance, I understand that, and this coming here, when I spoke to Jennifer, I made it clear I was not paying for the full recharge of the variance. I was only paying the extra $200 that I would have had to pay when I did that. So she did that for me after I made it clear that it was unreasonable to charge me a second time. But this is a minor inconvenience, and I think it's probably something that will be on your guys' list too, to look at your zoning variances to kind of rework some of them maybe, right? And maybe make them allowable, you know. I don't know how, it's a big process, and I know you guys have, you know, you have variances in places because you have complaints over this. So.
I've been here 18 years and this is only the second time that I've ever seen something like a driveway.
Yeah,
And I could see they probably thought, well, there's 3 garage doors, there's a driveway.
Yeah.
Not even thinking it should be in the variance, it should have been.
yeah, and like I said, it's an old area, so some of these old areas. You know, if you're in Pritchard Farm, I can see this variance applying in a new development where somebody wants to take a side drive in the front of the house, maybe isn't. You know, the whole design structure is not applicable to that, right?
Yeah, in a lot of areas, you can only have one driveway, most of them. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, Adam, too good, right? Too good? Too good, that's it, sorry. Your printing is quite small. Just state are you gonna speak or are you just here for any support?
Yeah, I'm actually here for the variance. I may have written my name down.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'll just scratch you off here. Or you can support it.
Yeah, support that.
Okay, it's Erwin. Yeah, you can come up to speak. State your name and your address.
Clarence Irwin, I live at 2070 Roseneath, straight across the street from the house being built.
Okay, thank you.
So I can answer a question regarding the driveway in the back. There used to be a small little garage there and they came off the back alley into their backyard. And then there was also another 2 driveways, or I guess you would call it 1, that entered in off of Roseneath and then went off onto Allison, right at the corner of the lot. That's what they did for years. So, but as far as any complaints or anything like that, or issues with where they want to put the driveway, there's no problem with that.
Okay,
I was just, I missed the last hearing and I just wanted to come and get the understanding how the house was being built, and I've seen a print up there and answered all my questions, but I just wanted to answer that type of thing.
great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't have anybody in opposition and no one for information. To close the public hearing. Okay, for resolution.
Be resolved that council close the public hearing of council for variation order 110/2023 for 2073 Roseneath Avenue.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Duval, seconded by Counselor Imhoff. All those in favor? That's carried. The public hearing is now closed, and I'll open the floor up for discussion.
Done.
Nothing to say. Okay, for resolution then, please.
Be resolved that variation order 110/2023 for 2071 Roseneath Avenue be approved, subject to the following conditions. This variance be approved to what is proposed within this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval. Applicant owner obtains required permits from the Red River Planning District and the municipality.
I have a mover, please. Counselor Duval, seconded by Counselor Horechko. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Okay. I've lost my sheet, just a moment. 6.2 for resolution to open the public hearing.
Be it resolved that council opens
Excuse me.
council for variation order 112/2023 for 6 Ryan Wirth Way.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Horechko, seconded by Counselor Posthumus. All those in favor? That's carried. The public hearing is now open. And we'll pass the floor off to Mr.
Thank you, ma'am. This is variance VO 1/12/2023. These are the properties located at 6 Wirth Way. The applicant wishes to reduce the parking stalls in the highway commercial zone. This is the variance request table, so as per the bylaw, one parking spot is required for 250 square feet of floor area. But the applicant is proposing one parking spot per 1,000 square feet of floor area. This is the location map. As you can see, the property fronts Rhineward Way and gains access from Rhineward Way. This is the site plan provided by the applicant, so currently there's 4 buildings in the site plan. A and B are one building, but they're separated, and these are for light industrial uses. These are buildings C and D. We don't have an application for D yet. And these are for storage purposes. So like I said before, the applicant is proposing to reduce the square footage from 1 per 250 square feet to 1 per 1,000 square feet. We did not receive any objections from anybody during the circulation period. If the council wishes to approve this application, we just have 2 standard conditions. Number 1, this variance is limited to what is proposed in this application. Any changes would require any approval. Number 2, the applicant obtains all the required permits from the planning, the municipality, and the highways if required. Thank you. If the council has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, council. Do you have any questions? No questions. Thank you. We have in support and the applicant Adam Tuga. Did I say it right this time?
Hi,
Hi, so just state your name and your address for the record.
Madam, to the 6 Highfield Place, St. Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm here for variance on our property. Currently, it's requesting a 200 or a stall per 250 square feet. We have conditional use for industrial or light industrial for this lot. I think that 250 square feet is quite a bit, like it ends up taking part of the property, which is not great. So I'm looking to, yeah, I guess match a city of Winnipeg, which would be 1,000 square feet or 1 stall per 1,000 square feet. And also for the self-storage, just in Winnipeg and surrounding jurisdictions like St. Clements doesn't really say much about self-storage. They also have the 1 stall per 1,000 square feet. Springfield is 1 stall per 1,000 square feet or 500 whichever greater. The storage is not an occupied space, and so every overhead door would have somewhere for them to pull up. They'd either be leaving the car in there or just dropping something off and taking off. So the space is there to go into the like you could have a car parked at in front of every single door and still have a alley in there. So ideally, we would just not have a parking requirement there as storage, and it's just kind of a come and go. Again, it's not an occupied space, so if the stalls had to be shown on the drawings, it can be. It's just simpler just to leave it alone. And also for for the light industrial, our office is going to be in that building. We have 3 office staff. We'll have maybe 3-4 cars max at a time, and that's just over 15 hours. So, right now we're showing 15 stalls, which is double what the required 1 stall per 1,000 square feet. So we have more than what we're proposing, just to have ample room. Again, there's room to park behind the building as well, but in front of the garage doors, we have loading stalls that we're showing. So yeah, that's.
Okay, thank you. Council, do you have any questions? Councilor Postumus?
Yeah, so you're saying you still would have 1 spot per storage for them to pull up, unload and go with this 1,000?
Yeah, so the parking stalls themselves are not being shown in front of the overhead doors, but the space is there, yes.
And you said you're light industrial or whatever that you're doing there, you only have 3. There's no other workers going to be working there or in the future, or you could sell it and somebody else comes, but there's still adequate parking, like on the backside.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, so we're showing on the drawings that you have, we'll be showing, I think it's 15 stalls or.
In the front.
With some loading. And a lot of the spaces on the back, you can see on the back of the front building, there's maybe only 4 stalls shown. So the back of that building is 165 feet. It'd be ample. Most of these bays, like our office, is gonna be either a half kind of warehouse area with 1 or 2 offices and a bathroom.
So there's not a lot of public coming.
No, that's right, yeah. So the 250 square feet or a stall for 250 would be like a retail. Or retail requirement, I think, but.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't have anybody signed in opposition, no one for information. We will close the public hearing.
Sorry, I did have one question actually.
Sure.
In the approval requirements, I noted it said it would only be based off of what's seen on those drawings. I was hoping to have it like a variance for the property. Including our phase 2, so like this phase 2 will be some of the similar product, but rather than having to come back to do a second variance. It's all one property and title, it's just. It would just simplify things here.
Okay, so we would just adjust the resolution to accommodate.
Yeah.
A blanket.
Yeah, similar to how we did with the conditional use for light industrial like this.
Hearing and then we'll discuss that. Thank you.
Resolved by council close the public hearing of council for variation order 12/2023 for 6 Ryan Wirth Way.
I have a mover, please. Counselor Posthumous, second by Counselor Imhoff. All those in favor? That's carried. The public hearing is now closed. And I'll open the floor up for discussion. Kara, you did the development agreement for this subdivision. Is there any particular reason why it's 250 square feet per stall? Or was it just that was what was in our zoning bylaws and you just,
Yeah, I didn't adjust it. We generally divert to what's in the zoning bylaw for parking.
okay. And how long has it been like that in the zoning bylaw?
It's 2009.
Was
We're
it,
updating that in the new zoning bylaw.
we are moving forward to be changed?
A little less restrictive, yes.
And what do you consider less restrictive?
For example, for industrial, as indicated, there's generally just very few employees, right? So why do you require so many parking stalls? So that's where we'll look at, certain uses that might need less parking, or as we discussed, potentially for areas such as downtown, there's street parking, There's different things to be looking at as far as parking.
I can understand that for the storage facility, but when you have you're calling it light industrial, you have shops, maybe you have an HVAC guy, electrical guy, they got employee vehicles, they have they have their own vehicles like fleets, so.
So we'll do like employee versus square footage, whichever is greater. Probably more.
Employee, yes, but are you incorporating fleet? Like they're gonna have equipment, they might have trailers, like how are you going to make it?
We'll figure that out, but we'll have to include it like storage, right? It would be different than actually parking for employees and people. So
Can you
there's
give
this-
me an example in the community where we have the parking that is in our zoning bylaw right now?
As far as like an industrial.
So let's
site,
compare it
like for
to
reverse.
Harsma, the new shops that were built behind what was Stefan Homes. I think it was Stefan Homes.
Yeah, we did have a couple variances for that area also based on the use.
Can you tell me, can we find out what the parking variance was for that one? Or did we vary the parking?
Did for one of the structures. I have to look into that. That was, gosh, was a good 18 months or more.
Yeah. The reason I ask that is because I look at that building right now was very condensed with a lot of parking and a lot of equipment and so forth, right? So I just for a visual to see what that looks like when we're gonna drop the when we potentially drop the parking stalls, right? I get it for the storage facility. You know, it's not parking there overnight, you're pulling up to your unit, doing your thing, and you're leaving. So that was my question.
So we could indicate in the resolution also, if you're interested in approving this, that no storage shall occur in the assigned parking stalls.
So I don't want to put those type of restrictions. I just want to make sure that we're making a good decision tonight, if we make the decision tonight. And is there any way of pulling up that?
I have
Have it? Great, thanks, Suzanne.
says this variance is limited to a reduction in required parking spaces to 34 parking spaces and to allow parking within the first 15 feet of the required front yard as proposed in the application. A change in use or buildings may require a new variance approval.
What's the address?
20 Henderson.
1 point. Oh, that's a.
Okay, and so in our package, we have the request of going down to 1 stall per 1,000 square feet. Do we know how many stalls that drops his site plan to? Like what the site plan is at now within our zoning?
He doesn't have.
I guess I should have asked you that last one.
It would be 74 spaces.
Currently,
How many?
74.
and is that so that's incorporating 1 stall in front of each parking? 1
That's,
stall in front of each storage facility?
it's just based off of the floor area, so. Total all the buildings, I believe, is about 18,000 square feet. And as per the standard. This is what was calculated, minimum of 74 spaces were required,
Including the storage space.
including everything.
So 74 were required, and can you do the math to tell me what that's gonna drop it down to?
18 and a half.
18,
18.
And how many units are there? Just show me in the audience, how many units are in your industrial building?
half 5,
5.
so.
So that's like 3.5 stalls per unit.
Yes.
Around there? Councilor Postumus.
We're in discussion on it right now, correct?
We are in discussion.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand the storage. If he gets another company in or somebody else comes in, and you have 5 units there, like 3 stalls, like to me, that's a very big drop. I don't know if we'd look at dropping it to half, but companies come and companies go, and you may have somebody in there might have 5 vans or something. And then and then he's got his next phase 2 that would, I don't know if I would do a flat for the whole thing. We don't even know what it looks like or what's going in there. Because they can't park on Wirth Way or any of those streets, so that's a pretty drastic drop from 74 to 18.
Can I mention something?
Sure.
So I just did a quick calculation. So if you omit the storage units and you just factor in the 2 larger buildings, which add up to 7,000 square feet, that'd be 28 stalls, and he's reducing it to 18. So if you don't count the storage, which does have space for 1 car per storage unit, he's technically going down around 10 stalls.
Okay, so on the site plan here that he would have provided for his building permit. 1, 2, 3. He has 16 parking stalls in front of the building. How did it pass for permit? No, am I seeing that?
There's no permit yet.
Oh, he's not building yet?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so
I can,
You'll have
A,
to-
B, and C are built.
yes, yeah. So A, B, and C are built, and he was provided a building permit and he didn't meet the site plan requirements. Is that correct?
So, I mean. It's a phase thing, right? So the building permit would say whatever the overall plans are, it would have to comply with these many spaces. That's my understanding of it, but I can look into.
So I can see that he has some parking stalls
Yeah.
behind the building shown there, right? I can see that. Okay. So this is now the second one. Tonight. Okay. Does anybody else have anything to say about the request tonight? Nobody? Okay, are we ready to make a decision?
Are you, is it getting rewritten that it's a blanket without even seeing the next phases?
That's something we're deciding right here now. But Suzanne will rewrite the resolution with Kara. I'm just asking council if you're ready to render your decision. Okay. Council Horachko?
So I'm not too excited about the blanket. I mean, what I see in front of me, I'm prepared to make a decision on. But the blanket part, things change, so I'd want to live up to something that isn't there.
I think what happens is though that then he would want his site to look uniformed. So it would make sense
Yeah,
to have a blanket approach. That makes the most sense. I just, it's disappointing that people are building structures and so forth and then having to come forward for variances.
I hear you.
Yeah. Are you writing the resolution yet? Is council good to write the resolution with a blanket? I can understand what you're saying, Councilor Hirschko. I think that I think this is well on its way.
Maybe this is clear site plan. This is the one we have for the permit application.
Oh, that doesn't show, I don't see that on my application.
This is from the permit application.
That's from the permit.
Okay, but what's in my package, I don't see this parking here.
Exactly, it kind of changes things.
That kind of changes things for me.
I think that's what the applicant was saying, that if he met because that would have met the parking requirements at the time, and if I'm not mistaken, the applicant said it ate up most of the property and wouldn't be able to develop in a similar manner if you went with that. That's the reason for the variance.
No, I understand that, but that's why I was looking at my sheet going, where's all this parking? I only see so many parking stalls.
Yeah, it doesn't show any in the back, just the
That
front.
just erases everything I was complaining about his building permits. So are we ready to make a decision? Okay, can we get the resolution adjusted to make it the blanket approach, please? Cut off.
I guess so. Yeah. Ran out of paper.
Like that. Yes.
Be it resolved that variation order 112/2023 for 6 Rhineworth Way be approved subject to the following conditions. The variance is limited to reduced parking requirements for the entire property, current phase 1 and future phase 2 as presented in this application. Any changes in use, additions and or replacement may require a new variance approval. Applicant owner obtains required permits from the Red River Planning District, the municipality and the highways department if required.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Posthumous, seconded by Counselor Hurechko.
Brian had his hand up right away. I point,
That's okay, it's who I'm looking at.
okay,
It's fine. Call for the question, all those in favor? That's carried. Don't worry, Brian won't be offended if I miss him a couple times.
you're good.
Okay, so 6.3, public hearing.
Be it resolved that council open the public hearing of council for variation order 115/2023 for 3850 Henderson Highway.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Hurechko, seconded by Counselor Posthumous. All those in favor? That's carried. The public hearing is now open and we'll pass the floor off to Mr. Platter.
Thank you, ma'am. This is variance VO 115/2023. These are the properties located at 3850 Henderson Highway. The applicant wishes to vary the square footage of a detached accessory structure to 3600 square feet from the required 1200 square feet when a rural residential zone. This is the variance request table. As I said, in the RR2, the requirement is 1200 and the applicant is proposing a combined square footage of 3600. This is the location map. The property gains access from Henderson Highway. This is the site plan provided by the applicant. There is a current garage, which is 900 square feet floor area and has a second floor, though that's 1800. Plus they're proposing a 60 by 30, that's another 1800 square feet of extension. This is a drawing for council's consideration. The existing garage has a second floor and then they're proposing 4 garage extension. Another rendering, this is the front elevation, this is the existing, this is the proposed extension. Cross section. These are the renderings by the applicant. Like I said before, the applicant wishes to increase the area from to 3600 square feet. As noted from the aerial photos, there is a thick vegetation to the north that would create a natural buffer for the subject property. There is no existing variance approvals to the applicant's request in the vicinity. But the combined square footage of accessory structure seems compatible with the general nature. We did not receive any objections on this proposal. If the council wishes to approve this application, we just have 2 standard conditions. This variance is limited to what is proposed in the application. Any changes would require any approval. Number 2, the applicant owner obtains all required permits from the. Thank you. If the council has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Council, do you have any questions? Counselor Hurechko.
So right now, in that zone, he's allowed 2 1200 square foot buildings.
Yes.
And the new garage isn't gonna be 2-story.
No.
Thank you. So it's only a couple of hundred square feet really over.
Yeah, if you have 1200 square foot, you
Yeah.
2400 square feet.
Yeah, if I looked at it all as a 1 floor, it's really only about 300 square feet over. Thank you.
It's also the bigger size.
27.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Actually, the footprint is only 300 square feet larger than what's the total allowable, so. Okay.
Okay, for a resolution to close the public hearing. Is there, oh, just a moment, can you bring back that site plan? How many outbuildings are on the property?
There's just one. This is a pool.
Oh, these are just,
These are parked vehicles or.
okay, okay. Okay,
He wants to put in.
close the public hearing.
Are you allowing the applicant?
Resolved that council.
Sorry, I forgot to let the applicants.
Yeah, we're gonna let the,
Sorry. Okay. Is the applicant in the audience? Would you like to come forward and speak to the application tonight? Great. It's Stephen. I'm not going to try your last name. Marish? Marish. So if you could just tell me your name and your address for the record.
Stephen Marshak. I put my work address there.
Yes, I see that.
Boulevard.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm the builder for the property owner and basically as stated, existing garage. They want to add additional space for the growing family and for additional vehicles in there, so that's what the variance is basically in place for. So.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
No.
Oh, Councilor Hretchko has.
So this is all just for personal storage,
Correct.
no business. Thank you,
Thank you. And the owner, Lenny
Brianna.
Baranek. I'm glad that my counselors helped me pronounce last name.
You crazy guys, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks for hearing this. I talked to neighbors both sides, I showed pictures. It's no problem, to manage the house and it's more privacy for them as well, so.
Great. Thank you. Okay, now can we close the public hearing?
Yep.
Great.
You can.
Resolved that council closed the public hearing of council for variation order 115/2023, 3850 Henderson Highway.
I have a mover, please. Councilor Hretchko, second by Councilor Duval. All those in favor? That's carried. The public hearing is now closed. Oh, any discussion, Council? Councilor Osterman.
yeah, seeing that you could have 1200. 2400, this is only 300 over. I've seen similar things in the area and I Googled it on Google Map and there's high vegetation on both sides. You wouldn't even notice it. You know, had it been attached to the house, I've seen 5,000 square foot garages go in. So no, I think it's a fit for the area. I would be approving it.
Are you saying we have a 5,000 square foot garage in the community
Yep,
attached to a house?
yep.
Where?
There's one on Henderson on the river.
How big is the house? It would seem lopsided if it wasn't bigger.
I think that's,
You're not going to comment, are you?
I'm just gonna say, we're not talking about that garage.
It's not his house.
It's his house.
yes. It's Councilor Imhoff.
It's Councilor.
That's why he shut his mic off really quick.
He's got a still.
I wish.
Okay. We have a mover and a seconder. Call for the question. All those in, I didn't have a mover and a seconder.
Haven't read the resolution yet.
Oh, we haven't read it yet. We were discussing.
This one is giving me problems. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay, for resolution.
Be resolved that variation order 115/2023 be approved subject to the following conditions. This variance is limited to what is proposed within the application. Any changes in use, replacement, or further additions require new variance approval. Applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Hretchko, second by Councilor Postumus. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to under bylaws.
Stay for the rest of the meeting, everyone.
We never had money yet. We could use some friends here.
Yeah, we need friends.
We need.
Bylaw 7.1 for resolution.
Be resolved that bylaw number 2023-19 being a bylaw of the RMV St. Paul to establish designated officer positions be given second reading.
I have a mover, please. Councilor Imhoff, seconded by Councilor Duval. Any discussion, council? Call for the question. All those in favor? It's carried. 8.2. Oh, no, 7.2, sorry.
Be resolved that bylaw number 2023-19 being a bylaw of the RMV St. Paul to establish designated officers positions be given third reading, and be it further resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the bylaw on behalf of the municipality.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Hurechko, seconded by Counselor Posthumous. Any questions or comments? Call for the question. All those in favor? It's carried. And 7.3.
Be resolved that bylaw number 2023-20 being a bylaw of the Arm of East St. Paul to revise and consolidate a fee schedule for municipal services be given second.
Have a mover, please. Counselor Imhoff, second by Counselor Hurechko. Any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Under policies 8.1.
That's third reading.
Oh, sorry, third reading.
Schedule. Be resolved that bylaw number 2023-20 being a bylaw of the Arm of East St. Paul to revise and consolidate a fee schedule for municipal services given third reading. And be it further resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the bylaw on behalf of the municipality.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Duval, second by Counselor Imhoff. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Now 7.3.
Be it resolved that bylaw number 2023-21 being a bylaw of the Arm of East St. Paul to authorize hours of work, remuneration, and benefits of municipal employees not covered under another bylaw, collective agreement, or contract be given first reading.
I have a mover, please. Counselor Imhoff, second by Counselor Duval. Any questions or comments? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Under policies 8.1.
Be it resolved that Community Safety Officer 1, Policy JD 189 be approved as presented.
I have a mover, please. Counselor Hurechko, seconded by Counselor Posthumous. Any questions? Comments? No, hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. And then 8.2.
Be it resolved that Community Safety Officer 2, Policy JD 190 be approved as presented.
I have a mover, please. Counselor Duval, second by Counselor Imhoff. Any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. And 8.3.
Be it resolved that Heavy Equipment Mechanic Policy JD 191 be approved as presented.
I have a mover, please. Counselor Posthumous, second by Counselor Hurechko. Any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Nothing under finances, nothing under under general business 10.1. Planning 10.1.1 for resolution.
Be resolved that the development agreement between the Arm of East St. Paul and Kedian Properties Inc. for subdivision S182768 be released to the developer. And be it further resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the agreement on behalf of the municipality.
I have a mover. Counselor Hurechko, seconded by Counselor Duval. Any questions or comments? No. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 10.2 administration 10.2.1.
Be it resolved that council award the contract for audit services for the years 2023 to 2027 to the Exchange Group at a cost of $21,065 plus tax. The annual cost is subject to inflationary adjustments each year.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Duval, seconded by Counselor Imhoff. Bye, Kara. Thank you.
Bye.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. General 10.3.1.
Be it resolved that council appoint a buyer's choice home inspections building inspector Renee Rowe as a designated officer of the Arm of East St. Paul.
Have a mover, please. Counselor Imhoff, second by Counselor Posthumous. Any questions or comments? Counselor Posthumous.
Yeah, this would be for the derelict buildings, on my understanding, and we did contact Red River, but they weren't able to
I did.
say that they could do it.
I did reach out to the director, and
They
the
said-
response time was taking a little bit longer than I had liked. Therefore, I outsourced it.
Okay, and then this would be applied to people's taxes. If
To the property in question,
to the property in
Yes.
question.
correct?
Again, so there'd be actual no cost to the RM.
There's no cost to the owner.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Frenchco.
You know, it just seems unusual that Red River.
Yeah.
That's my concern, considering their business is down to like 50% or something, that they don't have people to be able to do this.
We will bring that.
Anyway, we'll bring that up at the next meeting.
Right, so we're gonna appoint, probably we're gonna make the decision tonight to appoint.
Yeah,
You're just gonna make a, you're just gonna make an inquiry as to why.
they wouldn't do
The service that was provided to the RM.
it. Right.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll call for the question then. All those in favor? And that's carried. 10.3.2,
Be it resolved that council approve the appointment of Councillor Orest Horechko as deputy mayor effective November 1st, 2023 to November 1st, 2024.
I can have a mover, please. I will move.
Yeah.
And Counselor Posthumous will second it. And so as we discussed when we first became a council together, I said that we would take turns every year. And Counselor Duval, I want to thank him for being my deputy mayor up until this point. And he's great supportive deputy mayor for me. And now I'm moving on to Counselor Horechko, so he'll be the next deputy mayor next year
In 7 days.
in 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. He almost didn't vote for himself. Did you see that?
He's just kind of bringing this.
He was like,
Appropriate.
do I vote for myself?
No,
It's gonna, he saw an object.
Yeah. Okay, so number 11, business arising from delegations. How many delegations this evening? Item number 12, correspondence for information. Any questions out of correspondence for information, council? No, we didn't have a large package this time.
Anything.
Nothing? We did get our RCMP quarterly stats on reporting. We haven't seen, we haven't had an officer come talk to council in quite some time, so Suzanne, maybe next time they provide their report, they can send someone to just give us a bit of an update and explanation on it. That'd be great.
Yeah, we used to get
Well, they used to come in and
also developed.
discuss their application. I mean, their report.
It would be interesting to see the same report from similar municipalities to East St. Paul. We look at this and it looks pretty quiet, which is good.
Yeah.
But how was it other places? They wouldn't want to compare to the city, wouldn't they, of course?
The numbers are the same, like the collision was the same number from last year to this year. Did you see that? Thought that was interesting.
We're only 3/4 of the year, though. We have 3 months left.
True.
So they could change.
The mischief to property has gone down, so that's a bonus. And false alarms have gone down, and I'm sure our first responders are happy about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything for in camera tonight, Suzanne? Okay, so I'll have the resolution to adjourn.
Be it resolved that the meeting be adjourned to the time being 6:29 PM.
I have a mover, please, Counselor Imhoff, second by Counselor Duval. All those in favor? That's carried. Our evening is now over. Thank you very much.